Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka. This is Kefzava from Women of the Living Word, bringing you Sabbath greetings and wanting to do a reading of the book of Hosea as promised. Um, Reading Hosea is as important as reading Psalm 51 as we prepare our hearts and minds to repent, to reflect, to understand Yahweh's character and his face towards Yashar'al, which is the major crux of the message to Hosea, because he was a man, a priest of Yah, and Yah commanded him to go and to take a woman of harlotry, to take a woman of whoring, and to take her as his wife. And in understanding that, we come to understand better Yahweh's heart regarding the nation and the redemptive work that he would do in bringing Yashar'al into fidelity and oneness with him as a bride that has been cleansed from unrighteousness, a bride that has redeemed and is prepared to walk in the commandments, in obedience, and to worship him in Ruach and in truth, in Ruach and Amat. And so I want to open up with prayer, and I want to go ahead and get started with the book of Hosea. I'm reading from the scriptures from the Institute of Scripture Research, the 1998 version, for those of you who have it. For those of you who don't, just follow along in whatever you have. I'm not reading from the Etz today, but I am reading from the scriptures, and so again, you're able to follow along with whatever scriptures you have, whatever version. And I'll go ahead and open up with prayer and get us started. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher barakar banu mechol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Yahuwah noten ha'torah. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahuwah Elohim, King of the universe, who has selected us from amongst all people and given us your Torah of truth. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, giver of the Torah. The word of Yahuwah that came to Hosea, son of Be'eri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Achaz, and Kiskiah, sovereigns of Yehuda, and in the days of Jeroboam, or Jeroboam, son of Joash, sovereign of Yashar'al. The beginning of the word of Yahuwah with Hosea. And Yahuwah said to Hosea, go take yourself a woman of whoring, children of whoring, for the land has utterly whored away from Yahuwah. So he went and took Gomer, daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. And Yahuwah said to him, call his name Yashar'al, for in a little while I shall revenge the bloodshed of Yashar'al on the house of Jehu, and put an end to the reign of the house of Yashar'al. And it shall be in that day that I shall break the bow of Yashar'al in the valley of Yisrael. And she conceived again and bore a daughter. And he said to him, call her name Lo Ruchama, for no longer do I have compassion on the house of Yashar'al, so as to forgive them at all. But I shall have compassion on the house of Yehuda, and save them by Yahuwah their Elohim, and not save them by bow, or by sword, or battle, by horses, or horsemen. And she weaned Lo Ruchama, and conceived and bore a son. Then he said, call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people, and I am not for you. Call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people, and I am not for you. Those are words we never, ever want to hear from Yahuwah. And that in and of itself is enough to make us stop and reflect and repent, to be reconciled to Yahuwah while there is time, to be reconciled to him, to receive the Kippurim, the blood of Yahusha HaMashiach, and to be cleansed from unrighteousness, so that we can enter into the great Moed of Pesach and have death pass over us and be counted as those who are the living ones whose name is recorded in the Lamb's book of life, so that we are prepared for eternity, for an eternal reign with Yahuwah when he comes to gather us, that we be not sifted as wheat, but that we be counted as sheep in his pasture. Picking up from verse 10, yet the number of the children of Yashar'al shall be as the sand of the sea, which is not measured nor counted, and it shall be in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they shall be called, you are the sons of the living El. And the children of Yehudah and the children of Yashar'al shall be gathered together, and appoint for themselves one head, and shall come up out of the earth, for great is the day of Israel. Say to your brothers, O my people, and to your sisters, O compassioned one, strive with your mother, strive, for she is not my wife, nor am I her husband. Let her put away her whorings from her face, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked, and shall set her up as on the day she was born, and shall make her like a wilderness, and shall set her like a dry land, and shall put her up to death, and shall put her to death with thirst. That's the real thirst. And I shall not have compassion on her children, for they are the children of whorings. For their mother has whored, she who conceived them has acted shamelessly. For she said, I go after my lovers, who give me my bread and my water, my wool and my linen, my oil and my drink. Therefore see, I am hedging up your way with thorns, and shall wall her in, so that she does not find her paths. And she shall pursue her lovers, but shall not overtake them, and shall seek them and not find them. Then shall she say, let me go and return to my first husband, for then it was better for me than now. And she did not acknowledge that I gave her grain and new wine and oil, and increased her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore I shall turn back, and shall take my grain in its time, and my new wine in its season, and I shall take away my wool and my linen covering her nakedness. And I shall take away my wool and my linen covering her nakedness. And now I shall uncover her shame before the eyes of her lovers, and no one shall deliver her from my hand. And I shall cause all her rejoicing, her festivals, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, even all her appointed times to cease. Note, he's saying her festivals, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, not his, hers, the days that she has esteemed, not the days that he has called kadosh or set apart, but the days that she has esteemed. Those he will put to an end, and lay waste her vines and her fig trees, of which she has said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. And I shall make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I shall punish her for the days of the Baals to which she burned incense and adorned herself with rings and jewelry, and went after her lovers and forgot me, declares Yahuwah. Therefore, see, I am alluring her, and shall lead her into the wilderness, and shall speak to her heart, and give to her vineyards from there, and the valley of Achor as a door of expectation, and there she shall respond as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up from the land of Mitzrayim. And it shall be in that day, declares Yahuwah, that you call me my husband, you call me Ishi, and no longer call me Baali, my Baal, or Lord, but call him Ishi, my husband. And I shall remove the names of the Baals, or lords, from her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I shall make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the birds of the heavens, and with the creeping creatures of the ground, when bow and sword and battle and I break from the earth, and I shall make them lie down in safety. And I shall take you as a bride unto me forever, and take you as a bride unto me in righteousness, and in right ruling, and kindness, and compassion. And I shall take you as a bride unto me in trustworthiness, and you shall know Yahuwah. And it shall be in that day that I answer, declares Yahuwah, that I answer the heavens, I answer the Shemayim, and answer the earth. And the earth answer the grain, and the new wine, and the oil, and they answer Yisrael. And I shall sow her for myself in the earth, and shall have compassion on her who had not obtained compassion. And I shall say to those who were not my people, you are my people, while they say, my Elohim. Chapter 3. Then Yahuwah said to me, go again, love a woman loved by a friend, and an adulteress, according to the love of Yahuwah, for the children of Yashar'al, though they are turning to other mighty ones, and love their raisin cakes. So I bought her for myself for 15 pieces of silver, and 1½ omers of barley. And I said to her, you are to remain with me many days. You are not to whore, nor become any man's, and so I shall also be towards you. For many days the children of Yashar'al are to remain without sovereign, and without prince, and without slaughtering, and without pillar, and without shoulder garment, or house idols. Afterward the children of Yashar'al shall return, and seek Yahuwah their Elohim, and David their sovereign, and fear Yahuwah and his goodness in the latter days. Hear the word of Yahuwah, you children of Yashar'al, for Yahuwah has a case against the inhabitants of the land, for there is no truth or kindness or knowledge of Elohim in the land. Swearing and lying and murdering and stealing and committing adultery have increased, and bloodshed follows bloodshed. Therefore the land mourns, and everyone living there languishes with the beasts of the field and birds of the heavens, and the fish of the sea are taken away. However, let no one strive or reprove another, for your people are like those striving with a priest. And you shall stumble in the days, and you shall stumble in the day, and the prophet shall also stumble with you in the night. And I shall make your mother perish, your mother being harlotry. My people have perished for lack of knowledge, because you have rejected knowledge. I reject you from being priest for me. Since you have forgotten the Torah of your Elohim, I also forget your children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. My esteem they have changed into shame. They eat the sin of my people, and lift up their desire to their crookedness. And it shall be, like people, like priests, and I shall punish them for their ways, and reward them for their deeds. And they shall eat but not be satisfied. They shall whore but not increase, for they have stopped obeying Yahuwah. Whoring and wine and new wine enslave the heart. My people ask from their wood, and their staff declares to them. For a spirit of whorings has led them astray, and they went whoring from under their Elohim. Backing up, reading verse 12 again. My people ask from their wood, and their staff declares to them. For a spirit of whorings has led them astray, and they went whoring from under their Elohim. They slaughter on the mountaintops and burn incense on the hills under oak and poplars and terebinth, because its shade is good. Therefore your daughters commit whoring, and your brides commit adultery. I would not punish your daughters when they commit whoring, nor your brides when they commit adultery, for men themselves go aside with whores and offer with cult prostitutes. A people that do not understand are thrust down. Though you are a whore, Yashar'al, let not Yehuda become guilty. Do not come up to Gilgal, nor go up to Beth Awen, nor swear an oath, saying, as Yahuwah lives. Yachai, nor swear an oath, saying Yahai, as Yahuwah lives. For Yashar'al is stubborn, like a stubborn calf. Would Yahuwah now feed them like a lamb in a broad place? Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have whored continually. Her rulers wildly love shame. A wind has bound up in its wings. A wind has bound her up in its wings, and they are ashamed because of their slaughterings. Hear this, O priests, and listen, O house of Yashar'al. Give ear, O house of the sovereign, for the judgment is for you have been a snare to Mitzvah and a net on Tabor. It's chapter 5, verse 1. Picking up again at chapter 5, verse 2. And they have made deep the pit of Shittim. So I reproved them all. I have known Ephraim, and Yashar'al has not been hidden from me. For now, O Ephraim, you have whored. Yashar'al is defiled. Their deeds do not allow them to turn back to their Elohim, for the spirit of whorings is among them, and they do not know Yahuwah. And the excellency of Yashar'al shall witness to his face, and Yashar'al and Ephraim stumble in their crookedness. Yehudah shall also stumble with them. With their flocks and herds they go to seek Yahuwah, but do not find him. He has withdrawn from them. They have acted treacherously against Yahuwah, for they have brought forth strange children. Now a new moon shall devour them with their portions. Blow the ram's horn in Geba, and trumpet in Ramah. Shout, O Beth Awen, behind you, O Binyamin. Ephraim is laid waste in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Yashar'al I shall make known what is certain. The chiefs of Yehudah shall be like those who remove a border. On them I pour out my wrath like water. Ephraim is oppressed, crushed in judgment, because it pleased him to walk after Saul. Saul is the name of an idol. So I am to Ephraim like a moth, to the house of Yehudah like rottenness. When Ephraim saw his sickness, and Yehudah saw his wound, then Ephraim went to Asher and sent to sovereign Yarab, but he is unable to heal you, or to remove the wound from you. For I am like a lion to Ephraim, and like a young lion to the house of Yehudah. I myself tear them and go. I take them away, and there is no one to deliver. I shall go. I shall return to my place until they confess their guilt and seek my face. In their distress diligently search for me and say, come and let us turn back to Yahuwah, for he has torn, but he does heal. He does heal us. He has stricken, but he binds us up. After 2 days he shall revive us, and on the 3rd day he shall raise us up, so that we live before him. So let us know. Let us pursue to know Yahuwah. Let us know. Let us pursue to know Yahuwah. His going forth is as certain as the morning, and he comes to us like the rain, like the latter rain, watering the earth. Chapter 6, verse 4. Ephraim, what would I do with you? Yehudah, what would I do with you? For your trustworthiness is like a morning cloud, and like the early dew it goes away. Therefore I have hewn them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and my right rulings break forth as the light. For I delight in kindness and not slaughtering, and in the knowledge of Elohim more than burnt offerings. But like Adam they transgressed the covenant. There they acted treacherously against me. Gilad is a city of workers of wickedness, tracked up with blood. As bands of robbers lie in wait for a man, so the company of priests murder on the way to Shechem, for they have done wickedness.
I have seen a horrible matter in the house of Yashar'al. The whoring of Ephraim is there. Yashar'al is defiled. Also, a harvest is appointed for you, O Yehuda, when I turn back the captivity of my people. Chapter 7. Whenever I would heal Yashar'al, then the crookedness of Ephraim is uncovered, and the evil deeds of Shomeron, for they have wrought falsehood, and a thief comes in, a band of robbers raids outside, and they do not say to their hearts that I remembered all their evil. Now their own deeds have surrounded them, they have been before me. With their evil they make a sovereign glad, and rulers with their lies. All of them are adulterers, as an oven heated by a baker, who ceases stirring the fire after kneading the dough until it is leavened. In the day of our sovereign, rulers became sick. Inflamed with wine, he extended his hand with scoffers, for they have drawn near, their heart is like an oven. While they lie in wait all the night, their baker sleeps. In the morning it burns like a flaming fire. All of them are as hot as an oven, and they consume their rulers. All their sovereigns have fallen. Not one of them calls on me. Ephraim mixes himself among the peoples. Ephraim has become a cake unturned. Strangers have devoured his strength, but he does not know it. Gray hairs are also sprinkled on him, and he does not know it. And the excellency of Yashar'al did witness to his face, but they did not return to Yahuwah, their Elohim, nor did they seek him for all this. And Ephraim has become a simple dove without heart. They have called on Mitzrayim, they have gone to Asher. When they go, I spread my net over them. I bring them down like the birds of the Shemaim, like the birds of heaven. I chastise them as their congregation has heard. Woe to them, for they have strayed from me. Destruction to them, because they have transgressed against me, and I myself have ransomed them. Yet they have spoken falsehoods against me, and did not cry out to me with their heart when they wailed upon their beds. For grain and new wine they assemble themselves. They turn away from me. And I strengthened their arms, but they plot evil against me. They return, but not to the Most High. They have been like a slack bow. Their rulers fall by the sword for the cursings of the tongue. This is their scorn in the land of Mitzrayim. I'm going to put a stop there to the reading for today. I'm going to pick up tomorrow or in part 2. I'll go ahead and make part 2 today. And I'll load this in 2 parts for the sake of time. So I will not do the closing blessing over the reading until I conclude with part 2, which will be which will be chapters 8 through 14, closing out the book of Hosea or Hosea. I want to thank you for your time and joining Women of the Living Word for the reading today. And I pray that it is a word that sits in your heart, that it takes root in your heart, and that it manifests fruit in your life, and that you are able to purge the leaven, the dross, and give it to Yahuwah, and prepare your hearts and minds as we get ready to enter into the minor feast of Hadassah or Purim coming up on Adar, the 17th and 18th. For some of you, it's Adar 2. For some of us, it is just Adar, who are on a different calendar. And so as we get ready to prepare our hearts for the coming feast of Pesach, Women of the Living Word will be observing Pesach on April 13th and Hag Matzah from the 14th through the 21st of April. Those dates are also posted for your edification.
But I want to go ahead and stop here, and we'll pick up chapters 8 through 14 in part 2. Shabbat Shalom and Shalom Aleichem to you. Peace unto you. Until next time.